Hello Libra, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there's a Four of Swords. That's very calm, very relaxed energy. Okay, this is really nice. I like this. We're going to do our Dove and Serpent spread, and as I lay these cards out, I also want to say, if there's anything you need me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Now, finishing up Path of the Serpent. This is interesting. Very interesting. We're going to do a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Waite-Smith deck. I've been really liking the Waite-Smith deck lately. I just ordered a borderless vintage version of this deck, which I think will be nice for the channel. I think it'll fit into the aesthetic, into the vibe that we have here, which will be nice. Now, this is the mystery card. We're going to put the alien on top. We're not going to look at that until the very end, okay? And hopefully that will tie everything together and, well, give us the confirmation that we need. So let's look around. We've got some water, a little bit more water. We got air and air, majors. We've got air and majors. So a lot of air here today, a lot of major arcana, a lot of air too, okay? So starting with this Four of Swords, I feel like you're going to be achieving some real rest. I think that there's been some psychic tension. I think there's been some conflict, some friction in your life, some mental stress. I think it's going to kind of chill out right now. I think it's going to reach a point of rest and relaxation. I think there's going to be an ending to this conflict that you're in, an ending to whatever is causing this psychic tension, okay? Now, we see some interesting things with these major arcana cards. So the psychic tension now, it may be involving a particular water sign person, maybe a Scorpio person, but I don't think that's all it is. You know, this isn't just about your having trouble with that water person. This goes deeper than that, because this is a psychic tension. This is a mental blockage that's really preventing you from becoming you. It's preventing you from growing and becoming your own person, right? So I wonder if there's something going on with that relationship with that water sign person that may be Scorpio. Nothing against Scorpio people, but this card is sometimes specifically a Scorpio. I wonder if there's something going on there that really is kind of holding you back. That's preventing you from doing this deep inner work, right? Maybe that relationship is part of this deep inner work, this spiritual becoming, right? That you're involved with right now. We see a lot of these ideas of transformation, of going from kind of caterpillar to butterfly on this path of spiritual evolution. Right? We see the Death card down here. We see the Wheel of Fortune. We see the Sun card. Right? We see the Moon card, and we see the Moon and the Sun. So this is really, I think, about this progress that you're making. It feels like a spiritual progress. This spiritual progress may involve the way that you're communicating with people. You know, with all this air energy. I think it's not only the way you're communicating with other people, but with yourself. Because this card here, this Four, is really telling me that there was a psychic tension, a really twisted up. You know, there was just a lot of being tightly wound. You know, there was a lot of tension. Coming along with that 4 is this 10 of Swords. So this feels to me like there is finally a break in this tension. Something has really got to give. This could be maybe distancing yourself from this water sign or Scorpio person. We'll talk about them in just a moment, okay? Could be putting some distance between the two of you. Could be just completely ending that. Just sever that relationship. Whatever it takes to achieve a little bit of peace and calmness, right, in your psyche right now, in your mind, because I feel there's so much tension. And you can't stay this tightly wound. This kind of, the mind cannot maintain this level of tautness, of tightness for too long, right? It's like you're pulling a string from both ends. Eventually this wire is going to break, right? So I feel like we need to figure out what's going to work, okay? Because what is going on, or what has been going on, is not working. But the good news here is that I think you are going to figure it out. I think whatever is causing this tension is going to be fixed or removed or in somehow mitigated so that you can get a little bit of this kind of mental relaxation. Whatever this conflict is, it's going to be resolved one way or the other, all right? Now, who is this person? They could be a water sign. They could be specifically a Scorpio. But this is someone I think that is, I kind of feel like they're gaslighting you a little bit, or they're maybe not gaslighting you. I almost feel like they're gaslighting themselves a little bit, right? Is that even possible? They seem to be confused about who they really are, how they feel, okay? So it could be that one day they are presenting a certain attitude, a certain emotion, a certain agenda or intention. The next moment, it seems like they're doing something completely opposite. And I think we're having trouble figuring out, are they just playing games? Or are they just very kind of ignorant about their own kind of interior life? Or are they just very uncertain about how they feel? There's just a lot of confusion here, and I think it's causing a lot of this tension in you, mentally, psychically. And it kind of is unnecessary, right? Going forward, we don't see any water energy, all right? We see the water behind us. Here's the 3 of Cups. This relationship could have began very, very well, very happily, very cheerfully. It could have really been a lot of fun. It maybe had the potential to be wonderful. It felt wonderful at the beginning. But now we don't see any more water. We see just this mental tension. And we see all of these major arcana forces that are kind of saying, hey, look, you've got bigger concerns in your life. This is like small potatoes. You've got something really big that you're doing. This is kind of just a distraction. This is kind of barely on your radar, really, right? But it's causing so much of this tension and this psychic kind of blockage, which I really think is preventing us from activating this spiritual energy, this major arcana energy. So something has got to give in this situation so that you can move on free from the stress of this. I feel like it's really, really stressful for you. And at the same time, I don't feel like it really means that much. Like, this may sound kind of harsh, but you're stressing over this thing, but I don't feel like you really ultimately care very much for this, you know? I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but that's the vibe that I'm getting, especially no water. Only water was back here where it kind of began. It was good in the beginning. There was some stuff that you liked about it, but now it's just all stress. And honestly, I don't think you need that stress. You've got a lot more stress in other areas that we need to deal with, right? down beneath everything is this Death card. You're dealing with this transformation in your life. It's really a major shift for you. So are we adding to the difficulty of this personal spiritual transformation by continuing with this conflict, with this psychic stress here? Are we doing ourselves any favors? I don't think we are. I think that you're undergoing a much more significant and demanding process in your own life, in your own spirit. And this is kind of a major deal. I don't know what exactly this is. This is a major shift in your life. I don't know if it's career, if it's personal, if it's kind of spiritual, if it has to do with loved ones or family or something, but it's really, you've got a major thing happening in your life, and this person just seems to be causing some additional stress that we don't really need, right? And once we can get out of that, then we really are heading in the right direction, at least. We first encounter this moon card. Now, this is the new moon. This is some darkness. This is now maybe this was a welcome distraction at first. It was nice, but now it's just way too stressful. Once we get rid of that, okay, now we really have to confront this kind of uncertain, this kind of little bit shadowy darkness that we're in, right? So we don't have that distraction anymore. Now we've got to deal with this. And this is the major shift going on in your life. Both of these cards are talking about a very significant change. You're right on the verge of a significant moment. But we have both of these cards, right, in the same reading. So this is really the biggest change in your life, the most major, most significant shift of energy that you've ever experienced. And I feel like we need to be clear-headed and calm to deal with this, to really see our way through this and come out the other side, well, like we see on the path of the serpent. We want to get here, right? So this is a lot of uncertainty. This is kind of frightening because we don't know exactly what this is or what the other side of it is going to look like. And we kind of have to do this alone. This is something that, that you have to experience. No one can really do it for you, But there really is a lot of positivity here, especially in this moon card. The way forward, this beetle of transformation. It's like this is the death card down here. This real transformation. Things are shifting. It's kind of like we have to let go of the old life so we can begin the new life. And that death card, that beetle of transformation here, is what is pushing that sun, pushing your consciousness into this darkness. And your consciousness is so bright, this spiritual light is so bright, that this nighttime dark landscape, this shadowy world, is going to be illumined. Okay, everything will be revealed to you. Now, the interesting thing, okay, get ready for this. This is the beetle of transformation. The beetle is very much associated with this death card, right? The scorpion, the beetle. This card, the death card, rules the sign of Scorpio. So to me, it feels like the really significant thing in your life, the real kind of turning point here is going to be you dealing with this Scorpio person. Maybe through this relationship, you're dealing with that relationship, or maybe, got 10 of Swords. I hate to really say it like this, but maybe you getting out of this relationship, letting go of that person, is the first step, or maybe the first and the last step on this transformative journey, right? Maybe this is that significant moment where you're being called upon to act, to make a decision, and then we can continue on with this and we can get to the path of the serpent. Maybe all of this really depends on how you deal with this Scorpio energy, how you are able to process it and let it go, right? Because it is keeping you kind of embroiled in this air energy right here in the middle. We need to resolve this issue, resolve this relationship dynamic. I don't know if this is a love relationship or romance. This could be a friend, a family member, could be a work thing. I don't know who they are exactly. But I feel like you're in the process of letting go of that so that you can move forward in your life, right? And it's a difficult thing, okay? Here's the Prince of Swords. This is air on air. This is a kind of a confused state. This is really not knowing what the right answer is. This is kind of being right in here, this 10, this 4, it's just a swirl, a whirlwind of just thoughts and feelings and confusion. Not being able to see clearly how we feel, what we want, where we're going, what we're doing, where we are, and certainly not being able to articulate it. Okay? So I feel like this is the initial state of just confusion, chaos. Okay? But what that is leading to, again, this scorpion beetle figure there of this transformation, this process of letting go, is pushing this sun up into this darkness. So it is allowing you to have this sunshine, this clarity, this light, this illumination, right? That is going to clear up a lot of this confusion and is going to illumine this environment that you're in, right? Where you are headed, what you're moving into. It's now going to start to become clear, okay? You're going to find the confidence. You're going to find the clarity. You're going to find that spiritual light to carry you forward. Okay. And what is waiting for you in this new landscape, this new phase of your life is your ultimate destiny. Good fortune, a lot of prosperity, a lot of progress. Okay. It's kind of like your fate, your destiny, your life really is waiting for you. But we have to make the decision to leave this old stuff behind and move forward. That's kind of what the universe is waiting for you to do, waiting for you to kind of wake up, right? Activate your solar energy and find your place in the world. Start taking what is yours, right? Taking your destiny, your fate. Taking what is waiting for you. And I think that's a really, really amazing, really powerful force, right? A lot of major arcana, a lot of powerful forces here. And the final card that we see on the path of the serpent is this Princess of Swords. So this is a lot of this air energy, this confusion, this uncertainty, this kind of psychic tension. Now, I think in a very practical way, we're learning how to utilize that. We're learning what to do with this kind of, with stress. Because there will always be stress. We can't get rid of stress. So previously, on the path of the dove here, the stress was holding you back. This mental tension becomes confusion. It's really holding you back from making this leap forward, okay? From taking this very big step for your future. But now through this process, now we're starting to learn how to utilize this mental energy, this swords energy, it's still very difficult, but to cut our own path through the jungle, right? This figure is kind of, not too skilled with the sword yet. We're not so excellent at handling stress. We're not masters of, the stressful reality around us. But we're learning how to cut through it. So we found our sword, we found our weapon, we found the way that we can begin to control some of this air energy and cut through it, discern what it really means, to begin to dissect it and analyze it and make it work for us, right? Use it to create a path to progress. And that, I think, this is a real learning experience here. I think this is, it's a lot of air energy here, okay? So I think that there are a lot of implications with the air energy, okay? It's how you relate to people in your life, maybe to the Scorpio energy, how you might allow differing opinions into your psyche, into your life, and how we might be motivated by outside opinions. This card is trying to fight off anyone else's BS, right? Any of this energy coming from other people telling you what to do or how to do it, and even from a tarot reading, right? I'm not trying to tell you what to do. The tarot is not telling you what to do. You're learning to resist that, right? You're learning to really protect your own star, your own fate and destiny, and not allow outside influences to throw you into this confused, high tension state, high stress state. It's learning how to deal with stress, right? Basically, learning how to stay committed to our own beliefs and not be so influenced by the opinions of others. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't alter our opinions or change our beliefs when new data comes in, right? That's still a good thing. And we need to learn that about this air energy, right? We need to learn what to reject and what to accept, and those things that we accept, we need to learn what to do with those, so that we're not in a state of chaos, so we're not being manipulated, right? So there's a lot of air energy, and the air is always blowing in one direction or the other. It never stays constant. It's always shifting. It's always kind of chaotic, and we can only do the best that we can with this little sword that we have, to begin with, to try to see our way through this, try to cut through this really thick fog, you know. And I think, again, a big part of it is this Scorpio energy. I think that it is, this is the big step for you, very major step that's going to activate this sun and this Wheel of Fortune energy. Let's look at the mystery card. Thank you, Alien, for your assistance here. I don't know what this might be. Maybe some more air energy, right? Could be. It could be some air. I would like to see some water energy in your life, some sense of joy and pleasure and commitment and satisfaction and finding a connection here. But I don't know if we're there yet, right? I don't know if we're quite at that point. Let's see what we have. We have an Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is really what this Princess of Swords is clutching. And the Ace of Swords is your ability to see your own truth, know who you are, stay committed to your ideals. The Ace of Swords is the ability to look at things from different perspectives, but to not instantly be swayed by those perspectives. You're not easily convinced of anything, right? This is you finding the centeredness in all of this air confusion. This is you getting better and better, more skilled at seeing the truth in things, seeing the deeper meaning in things, seeing through this kind of confused air energy, this maybe manipulative energy, right? Seeing things for what they really are. This is you growing into this energy of not putting up with any BS, right? Not putting up with people who are trying to manipulate you, and having the discernment, having the awareness to know when they are, right? And that's going to take some practice, because I feel like 24 hours a day, there is energy in the world, in the universe, in society that is trying to influence us. Now, we can never get away from that. Anywhere you go, there's some energy in the universe trying to influence you. But through practice and training, we can get a little bit more aware of that. We will at least be able to notice when it's happening. We can't stop it from happening, but we can at least be discerning and have our own confidence that that can kind of analyze these impressions coming in, this data, this information, this attempt at manipulation, this attempted influence. Maybe we're not always going to be able to resist it. Maybe we're not always going to know when it's happening, because it's very subtle sometimes. People are getting really good at it. But we're going to get better and better at recognizing that. And then we can try to kind of mitigate that energy a little bit. But I think it's an ongoing process. Okay, it's something that the princess is going to grow and mature into someone who is really adept at wielding this sword. The sword of discernment, the sword of truth. So I think that this is a really good path that you're on. I think this is a very big step that you have to make. Okay. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, please click on the link right here. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you. And thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.